Dear, this channel which is prepared for freshman students, for both natural and social students, and we will see in this part the definitions as well as examples of a propositional logic. Now let us start from the definitions. Proposition or a statement is a sentence which has a truth value either true, which is denoted by capital T, or false, which is denoted by capital F but not both. So therefore, a proposition or statement is a sentence which has a truth value either true or false but not both. Dear, when you say a proposition or statement is a sentence, it is not only a sentence, it is a declarative sentence because there are different types of a sentence. For instance, a command sentence or a command statement or that of the exclamatory or the interrogative one are not a propositions or statement. So we see only the declarative one. So a proposition or statement is a declarative sentence which has truth value either true or false but not both. For instance, 2 is an even number. This is a statement because this is a declarative sentence and it has truth value, which is what? True. Because 2 is an even number, which is a number which is divisible by 2. A triangle has 4 sides. This is also a proposition. This is since it has a truth value, which is what? False, since triangle has 3 sides. Dear, there are some declarative sentences which are propositions, but it's difficult to determine the truth value. But their truth value has either true or false, but not both. For instance, Emperor Menelik ate chicken soup the night after the Battle of Adwa. Now, the truth value of this statement is not known. But if the emperor has ate the chicken soup, then this statement has truth value, which is true. And if it is not, which is false. Anyways, this is what? A proposition or statement. May God bless you. This is what? Not a proposition because this is exclamatory sentence, therefore this is not a proposition. Give me that book. This is what? Command sentence, therefore it is not proposition. What is your name? This is interrogative because there is no truth value, is it true or false? So that this is not a proposition. Next, let us see a logical connective. There are different logical connective, which are conjunction, disjunctions, implications, by implications, and negations, and we will see one by one. Now, let us start from conjunction. When two propositions are joined with the connective end, the proposition formed is a logical conjunctions. And this connective end is denoted by like this, by this symbol. So that the logical conjunctions of two propositions, say P and Q, is written as like this, and we can read as P and Q, or in other ways, P conjunction Q. What is the rule for conjunction? P and Q is true if and only if both P and Q are true. If both P and Q are true, then the P and Q is true. Otherwise, which is false. Using truth table, this can be described as for two propositions, say P and Q, then P has possible truth values: true, true, false, false, and Q has a possible truth value: true, false, true, false. So that P and Q, using the rule P and Q is true if both P and Q are true. Otherwise, false, so that true and true is true, true and false is false, false and true is false, false and false is false. Let us see its example. Now consider the following propositions. Let's P. We say that 3 is an odd number. This has truth value, which is true because 3 is an odd number. Another proposition say Q. 27 is a prime number. This has truth value, which is false since 27 is not prime. Because prime number is a number which has only two factors, which is 1 and itself that number. So that 27 is a prime number, which is false. Another proposition say R. Addis Ababa is the capital city of Ethiopia. Which is true. So P and the Q can be written as 3 is an odd number and 27 is a prime number. So this has truth value, which is false because here 3 is an odd number, which is P, and 27 is prime number, which is Q. So it has truth value true and false. True and false using the rule which is false. Therefore, P and the Q is false. P and R. P and R is, since P is given here and R is here, therefore P and R can be written as 3 is an odd number and Addis Ababa is the capital city of Ethiopia. From the above, since P is true and R is also true, so we have true and true, which is true. Another logical connective is called, which is disjunction. Disjunction can be defined as like this. When two propositions are joined with connective or, the proposition formed is logical disjunction, or denoted by like this. It looks like capital letter V, and it is just the logical conjunctions of two propositions, say P and Q, is written as like this. And we can read this as P or Q, or in other ways, P disjunction with Q, or in other ways, we can read as either P or Q. The rule for disjunction says that P or Q is false, or which is F. If and only if both P and Q are false, false. If both P and Q has truth value, say P false, false, then P or Q is always false, otherwise it is true. Thus we see using a truth table. The truth table for disjunction is given here for considering two propositions, say P and Q. Therefore, if we have only two propositions and we have, say, P and Q, then the possible truth value for P is only true, true, false, false, and Q has possible truth value true, false, true, false. So using the rule, P or Q is false if both P and Q are false. So that true or true is true, true or false is true, false or true is true, false or false is which is false. Example. Consider the following propositions. P 3 is an odd number. This is obvious, which has truth value true. Q 27 is a prime number, which has truth value false. S Nairobi is the capital city of Ethiopia, which is false since Nairobi is not the capital city of Ethiopia, rather than for Kenya. So that P or Q can be written as 3 is an odd number or 27 is a prime number. Or we can write as either 3 is an odd number or 27 is a prime number. And the truth value for this statement is true because here P or Q, since P has put truth value which is true and the Q is which is false, so that true or false is always true. Q or S. Q or S is written as 27 is a prime number or Nairobi is the capital city of Ethiopia. So from the above, since Q has truth value which is false and S is which is false, therefore we have false or false which is false, therefore Q or S is which is false. Dear, next times we will, or in the other part, we will discuss the implications, by implications, and the other using example, and we will see the access